morning to one and all. In the previous class, we discussed about the stopping straight distance. That means basically in the starting of the class, we discussed about sight distance. What is sight distance, and what are the different types of sight distances? Normally, when in our syllabus we are having only stopping sight distance and overtaking sight distance, and their formulas we are having, so that we need to discuss about those two sight distances. In the previous class, we discussed about stopping sight distance in one-way roads and two-way roads. Okay, that means in two-way roads SSD equal to SSD, but in case of one-way road SSD equal to 2 times SSD. That's discussed in the previous class. Okay, this is the example. Two-way loan we are having SSD equal to 2 times SSD. One-way road we are having no SSD equal to SSD. This is the previous one we are having formula SSD equal to 0.278 Vt plus 0.254 F. That means V equal to velocity of the vehicle, T equal to time taken in, and next one we are having F equal to frictional force. Those two things we are added here. Lag distance plus braking distance. Lag distance equal to 0.278 V into T, and braking distance equal to V square by 254 F. These are the examples on stopping straight distance. By using those two formulas, lag distance plus braking distance, we need to calculate both lag distance and braking distance in terms of V square by 254 F and 0.278 V. By using those, we have to do these three examples. In the first formula, first example, we are having calculate the SSD for a design speed. That means here we are having speed in kmph for a two-way traffic on two-lane road, and B bit we are having two-way traffic load on single lane road. That means both formulas we have to use in the first formula. Here time is not given, only velocity is giving. That means we have to convert this velocity into meter per second by multiplying 18 by 5. Okay, have to do that formula. And second example, we are having calculate the minimum sight distance required to avoid a head-on collision if two cars are approaching on opposite directions, 90 kmph and 60 kmph, and the coefficient of friction is 0.7, and braking efficiency is 50% in either case. Such that what formula we have to use? Here we are having these formulas, analysis of SSD, and these are the formulas. Okay, braking distance, at what speed they are coming. In those particular speed, what is the coefficient of friction we have? 0.37 or 0.38, 0.36, like that. Those things we need to consider, and we have to do the problem. But in case of example 3, we are having a stopping sight distance on a highway at a descending gradient is 2%. That means here you are giving n value, and the design speed is 80 kmph. Assume other data as per IRC specifications. That means we need to calculate SSD. Whatever data they have given, we need to substitute. Whatever he didn't give, we need to assume according to these IRC regulations. Such that we have to do these three problems simply by using those two formulas, and terminology we need to know before going to do any problems. What is V? That means velocity in terms of meter per second, or kmph. That means vehicles in some of the cases they are simply confusing by using this kmph and meter per second. What formula we are using for V square and others. And F is the frictional force we need to know for different kinds of lanes with different speeds. That means 60, 40, 60, like that. Our next topic is overtaking sight distance. That means whenever we need to overtake a particular vehicle in a road, we have this overtaking sight distance phenomena. In this phenomena, the minimum distance open to the vision of the driver of a particular vehicle intending to overtake a slow vehicle ahead with a safety against the traffic. In the term itself, they are simply describing all the phenomena. What is that phenomena means? While we are traveling in a particular road, the in front of vehicle is moving with very slowly compared to our vehicles, so that we need to overtake the in front of vehicle by rising our vehicle speed. Okay, this is the overtaking phenomena. Opposite direction is known as the minimum overtaking side distance, OSD, safe passing side distance. That means opposite direction to the direction, the safely against the traffic of opposite direction. While we are traveling on a particular road with a minimum speed we are maintaining to overtake the particular vehicle, the safety against the traffic of opposite direction. That means we need to overtake the particular vehicle with a safe speed and safe distance, so that the distance required to overtake the vehicle with a safety precautions. That means by maintaining particular speed, those things are mentioned here. The minimum distance required is called as a minimum overtaking distance or safe passing side distance. That means safely we are passing that vehicle which is coming slowly on a particular road. Next one, the overtaking side distance is the distance measured along the center of the road. That means we need to mark particular center of the road while we have to overtake a particular vehicle. That means simply marking means we don't have to go on a particular road and we need to mark. That means with our eyes. That means eye vision is needed to mark that particular point from the particular center. What is the road vehicle is having? It means from the center itself, the vehicle distance is how much, such that in what way we need to go, like in the left side or right side. Simply normally we have to go from left side of the vehicle, not that means the driver's eye, with the help of the driver's eye, will be at a height of 1.2 meters above the road surface. We'll have to see the top object with a 1.2 meters above on the road surface. So the driver's eye has to maintain a particular span of height of 1.2 meters. Okay, this is the minimum distance we need to maintain while traveling on a particular road. Minimum height, not distance. Minimum height to maintain, we have to utilize proper OSD. Next factors are, what are the factors affecting this OSD? That means speeds of overtaking vehicles. Overtaking vehicles means both vehicles which are have to overtake. Next one, overtaking vehicle and overtaken vehicle. That means overtaking vehicle means whatever the vehicle which is going slowly on a particular road, that is called overtaking vehicle. Whatever the vehicle which goes by crossing the vehicle, that is called overtaken vehicle. These two things they are simply confusing. Overtaking vehicle means the vehicle which is going with a huge amount of speed. That means the normally in a particular span of the road we are having, this is the analysis of OSD. In the previous classes also we discussed that A1, A2, B1, B2 and A3. Here A means the vehicle which is overtaking vehicle B. That means B vehicle is moving with a slow speed. That means we need to overtake the vehicle by maintaining proper dimensions D1, D2 and D3, so that OSD equal to D1 plus D2 plus D3. That is given in here. Next one is the overtaking vehicle. While we are taking those, what are the different factors having distance between the overtaking and overtaken vehicle? That means the distance, that is D1 and D2, D3 both are affecting. Next one is the skill and reaction time of the driver. That means while we are overtaking on a particular road, we need to use proper signs. That means we have to blow our horn, and sometimes we have to show our headlight. That means we are overtaking particular vehicle in that direction, either at left side or right side. We have to show with our headlights and backlights. Next one, skill and reaction time of the driver comes under those. The skill means they have to blow the horn and use headlights while he was overtaking. And third one is the rate of acceleration of overtaking vehicle. What speed we are maintaining in this particular overtaking distance. That is called the rate of acceleration. Next one is the gradient of the road. The gradient means whatever the slope that has been maintained on a particular road, that is called as the gradient. In those particular gradients, we have to use proper design speed. Otherwise, we have to face accidents. So that all those are the factors affecting while we are taking overtaking side distances. The above figure represents the overtaking side distances in terms of distances. Normally, A is the first point, A1 is the first point, B1 is the first point of vehicle B. The vehicle is simply going. After that, the A1 is moving to A2 and B1 is going to B2. After that, A2 is simply moving to A3 while accelerating the vehicle speed. Simply in opponent direction, we are having another vehicle is coming. In case we have to meet with an head-on collision. This is the major phenomena we need to know. Head-on collision means a vehicle is simply moving into A2 and A3. Like in that cases, we need to face some head-on collision with opponent vehicles coming on opposite lanes. So we have to use our skills and some amount of precautionary measures while we are overtaking a particular vehicles. So that here in the D1 and the D2, D3 we are having. D2 equal to 2s plus B. D1 and D3 are the normal vehicular distances. Here they are giving a brief discussion about these D1, D2 and D3. What are the A1, A2 and C1, C2, B1, B2, all those they have given. First of all, we need to know what is D1. D1 is the distance traveled by the overtaking vehicle A during the reaction time T with the driver position from A1 to A2. So that here we are having A1 and A2. In a reaction time of T, they moved from A1 to A2 at a distance of A. And D2 is the distance traveled by the vehicle A from A2 to A3. That means A2 to A3. That is the total distance measured as D2. A2 to A3, total distance measured as D2 in the span of time of T seconds. Next one we are having D3 is the distance traveled by the oncoming vehicle C from C1 to C2. That means C is the vehicle C1 and C2 we are having. That means opponent vehicle C1 and C2. B is the same line vehicle, C is the opponent vehicle. ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏబిసి ఏబి అనేవి రెండు కూడా ఒకే లైన్లో పాస్ అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి. సి అనేది మనకి ఏమవుతుంది, మనకు అపోనెంట్ డైరెక్షన్లో వస్తూ ఉంది. మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏ అనే వెహికల్ అనేది బి అనే వెహికల్ని క్రాస్ చేస్తుంది. అదే టైంలో మనకి సి అనే వెహికల్ ఏమవుతుంది, అపోనెంట్ డైరెక్షన్లో వస్తుంది. ఈ టైంలో మనం క్రాస్ చేస్తే మనకు ఒక ఛాన్స్ ఉంది, హెడ్ ఆన్ కొలిజన్ అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. దట్ మీన్స్ ద వెహికల్ యొక్క హెడ్ అనేది మన యొక్క ఏ యొక్క వెహికల్ యొక్క హెడ్కి డాష్ ఇచ్చే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. దాన్నే మనం ఏమంటామంటే హెడ్ ఆన్ కొలిజన్ అంటాం. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ ద మేజర్ ఫినామినా ఎక్స్ప్లెయినింగ్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ A1, A2, D1, D2, D3 and C1, C2. This is the total analysis of this overtaking side distance. Next continuation we are having B is the overtaken vehicle, A is the overtaking vehicle. A is overtaking, B is overtaken vehicle, C is the opponent direction vehicle. Okay, they are moving with a velocity of VB meter per second and V small b kilometer per hour. We need to denote with the capital B and small b with respect to their speeds in meter per second and kilometer per hour. Okay, there is no confusion. Small b means meter per second. Samely they have represented in VB kilometer per hour also. Likely C vehicle is also coming in opposite direction with small v meter per second and capital V meter per kilometer per hour. So that d1 is the distance between those two, and a1 to a2 distance will be vb into t. That means base speed of the vehicle into time taken to overtake. Normally this time will be 2 seconds. Reaction time is taken as 2 seconds. This 2 seconds was prescribed by our Indian Road Congress, IRC, Indian Road Congress. What is the formula for OSD equal to d1 plus d2 plus d3? That means we are moving from a1 to a2, a2 to a3. Likely we are having three spans of distances. Those are d1, d2 and d3. We need to add those three distances. First of all, we are having d1. What is the base speed? d1 distance equal to velocity into time. What is the velocity we are having? 0.28 into Vp and a time span of 2 seconds we need to have. After d2 we are having 0.28 into Vp into t plus 2 seconds d2, 2s, not seconds, 2s. d3 is also same as in first case, v into t, because here we are having different velocities with respect to different vehicles. We are having a vehicle, B vehicle and C vehicle. A vehicle having we are VB, and B vehicle we are having capital V and small v, likely. So that OSD equal to the formulas all are added in the above equation. After that, S is the spacing of the wheels. That means spacing of the wheels means the in front wheel, center from the front wheel to center of the back wheel, that is called as the spacing of the vehicle. Those spacing length also differs for vehicle to vehicle. For car it is having one sort of length, for lorries it is having one sort of length, for two wheelers it is having one sort of length. Likely it may be changes from vehicle to vehicle. If the design speed of the overtaking vehicle is not given, we have to assume. That means v minus 16 kilometers, and v is the speed of overtaking vehicles in kilometer per hour. Likely if there is a two-way traffic and one-way traffic, that means two-way traffic means in two ways we need to go. One-way traffic means in two-way traffic means both coming vehicles and going vehicles are having different paths. But one-way path means incoming vehicles and going vehicles are having same path in two directions. There is a major difference between two-way lane and single lane road. The minimum overtaking side distance equal to d1 plus d2 plus d3 for two-way traffic. That means single lane with two lanes. I will show with some figures. Simply you are confusing some of them. It is a two-way traffic in a particular lane. There is no separate medium between two lanes. In this particular first diagram, it is a two lane, it is a single lane. Two lane and single lane, we are having difference. Two lane and single lane, that is a major difference. For two-way traffic we are having d1 plus d2 plus d3. I will show. This is the two lane, because one side we are having going vehicles, one side coming vehicles, so that it is a two lane. We need to add both d1, d2 and d3, so that we are having here d1 plus d2 plus d3 in two-way traffic. But in case of one-way traffic, we are having only going vehicles or coming vehicles in only one direction, so that we are having d1 plus d2. There is no other vehicle coming in opponent direction, because all vehicles are going in a single path, so that d3 is 0 in one-way roads. This is the difference between those two equations, d1 plus d2 plus d3 and d1 plus d2. Why they have adding like this. Next one, we need to study what is a overtaking zone. In those particular overtaking zones, we have some extra sort of widening of the roads because of huge span of vehicles, and center to center distance for different vehicles is so high, and in some cases we are having these horizontal curves and vertical curves. Particularly in those horizontal points and vertical curves points, we have some extra widening also. We have to once we have to read, and we need to understand what are the formulas, and what are the technical terms used in these equations. The first point is it is a desirable to construct highways in such a way that the length of the road will be visible ahead at every point, sufficient for a safe overtaking. That means while we are overtaking a particular road, the total length will be visible to the driver, such that he have to observe each and every vehicle going in front of him, at what speed the vehicles are going, what is the total span of the vehicle, what is the carriageway they are moving, in first carriageway or second carriageway or third carriageway the vehicle is moving. All those can be visible to the driver. And the second point is the he have to practicable, and there may be stretches where the safe overtaking distance can be provided, but the overtaking opportunity of the vehicle is moving with the design speed should be given in the frequent intervals. That means there may be a stretches on particular roads. That means in some of the roads we are having white stretches, yellow stretches. Those things are used for to overtaking a particular vehicle at a different speeds, so that we need to utilize those stretches, and we have to go on a particular stretch and overtake the in front vehicle, so that they have to utilize proper road properties. And next one, these zones are which are meant for overtaking are called overtaking zones. In some of the places, so due to heavy rush of the vehicles, we are having particularly these overtaking zones. Those are called overtaking zones, overtaking areas. The minimum length of overtaking zone should be 3 times the safe overtaking distance. That means the minimum length of the overtaking in particular span of the road, the minimum length of the overtaking zone should be having d1 plus d2 into 3. It is for single lane road. That means the vehicles are only going in single lane, only coming vehicles are going vehicles in one direction. That is called single lane. But in case of double lane road, we are having d1 plus d2 plus d3 into 3 times, so that it is called as two-way roads. The minimum length of overtaking distance is 3 times OSD. OSD will varies for single lane and double lane. For single lane we are having d1 plus d2. For double lane we are having d1 plus d2 plus d3 according to previous diagram we are having. So that the desirable length for overtaking zone is kept 5 times for overtaking side distance. The previous one is the minimum value and desirable values. That means what is the minimum length we are having. Normally a person's having a height, normally huge amount of persons are lie between 5.2 to 5.8 feet. So few persons are having huge amount of height greater than 6. Likely we are having different lengths, minimum length what we have, and what is the desirable length. Okay, minimum length is 3 times OSD, desirable length is 5 times OSD. 5 into d1 plus d2 for single lane road, 5 into d1 plus d2 plus d3 for double lane roads. This is the overtaking zones, and this is the phenomena 3 to 5 times OSD for single lane or double lane. Minimum value is 3, desirable value is 5. d1 plus d2 for single lane, d1 plus d2 plus d3 is for double lane. You need to remember like this. Single lane means simply we need to add 1. Single please 1 plus 1 equal to 2, d1 plus d2. Double lane means simply we have to 2 plus 1 equal to 3, 1 plus d1 plus d2 plus d3. Like that you have to remember. Overtaking side distance formula. Next, we need to do these two examples. Example 1, the speed of the overtaking vehicles are 70 and 40 kmph respectively. Two-way traffic road. That means two-way means we need to calculate D1, D2 and D3. Those three values. Overtaking vehicle is acceleration means V equal to 0.99 meter per second square. Not VA here. Acceleration means A. V equal to velocity. We are having speed and acceleration. We need to calculate safe overtaking side distance. Second one, we are having calculate the minimum desirable length of overtaking zone. Third one, we are having to sketch the diagram of overtaking side distance with a signposts. That means whatever the vehicles are going, what are the vehicles are coming, what is the distance between two vehicles, all those we need to remember like this diagram. First of all, to calculate the overtaking side distance, what is the formula we are having is VB into T plus 0.278 VB into T plus S plus VB into T. By using those, we have to calculate this formula. A second example, we are having a safe overtaking side distance for a design speed of 96 kmph. Assume all other data suitable. In some of the cases, they didn't give the suitable, they didn't give the values in the problem. They have simply says that you have to assume. In those cases, we have to assume the minimum values for those conditions and maximum values. Whatever the values we are taking, simply we need to have to assemble those and simply writing behind what are the minimum values we are taking, so that minimum value is that value VB equal to that mm of second, that meter per second, and time equal to 2 seconds we are taking. Next one is the design of horizontal alignment. What is horizontal alignment? In the previous classes, we are having these horizontal alignments and vertical alignments. What is horizontal alignment? With respect to x-axis, there may be a circular curve which changes the direction of the road. That is called as horizontal alignment. Simply in the diagram we are having the road which is directing into another way with the help of these small curves. Those are called as horizontal curves. That means at that particular point the road direction will be changes to another way. Means simply we are going in a north direction, suddenly we are having a turn in east direction or west direction, so that the road will be extended with the help of these radial curves, so that those curves are called as horizontal curves. Horizontal curves, normally we are having formula P equal to W into V square by ZR. In this P equal to centrifugal force and W equal to weight of the vehicle in terms of kg, R equal to radius of the curve, G equal to acceleration due to gravity, V is the speed of the vehicle in terms of meter per second. So what is horizontal curve? Horizontal highway curve is a curve which is plane to the provided change in direction to the center line of the road, which having vehicle transfers a horizontal curve. The particular centrifugal force acts horizontally outwards through the center of the gravity of the vehicle. That means we are moving in a particular curve. The curve will changes its directions. While we are changing our directions, simply a particular force will be acting on our vehicle. We need to counteract those force with the help of different structural alignments. Those alignments are these horizontal curves. We need to calculate those forces by using this formula. What is the formula is P equal to W V square by ZR, where W equal to weight of the vehicle, V equal to velocity of the vehicle, acceleration due to gravity, and radius of curvature. This is the P. That means W V square by GR previously we are having. But in case of W we are having here M. Both are, W means mass of the vehicle, V is the velocity of the vehicle, and G and R. And here we are having two reactions, FA and FB. Those are, FA means particular point A, we are having friction with the tire to the road. Particular point B, we are having same friction with the tire A to the road, tire B to the road. So that we are having FA and FB. Those are related to FA equal to F into RA. That means the reaction force at a particular A into frictional force. And we are having a distance of B by 2 to each other. That means two wheels are spaced apart at each same distance from the center of the vehicle. So that we are having B by 2 and B by 2. In this diagram we are having inner side vehicle and outer side vehicle, inner side wheel and outer side wheel. According to that we have curve, outer side curve and inner side curve. Those things we will have to discuss. We will have to discuss in the previous class, so that when a curve is simply in one direction, we have to change our wheels according to the direction of the curve we are having. P by W is known as the centrifugal ratio or the impact factor. The centrifugal ratio is just equal to V square by ZR. Here we are having P by W equal to V square by P equal to W V square by ZR. Simply W going into another side of the equation, so that P by W equal to V square by ZR. They will come as V square by ZR. P by W is called as the centrifugal ratio, and next one V square by ZR is called as the impact factor, because V is the velocity. With that velocity vehicle is moving. Why? Because in the moving of the vehicle, the tire will create some amount of pressure with respect to velocity, so that the total vehicle has to go with V square by ZR. Next one, the centrifugal force acting on a vehicle negotiating a horizontal curve has two effects. That means the centrifugal force has to counteract these two forces. The first one is the overturn the vehicle outwards about the outer wheels. Second one is the tendency is to skid the vehicle laterally outwards. That means skidding. This skidding also occurs in many places due to less friction. In some of the places, skidding occurs due to this centrifugal force. What is overturning effect? In this overturning effects, we are having a pH equal to WB by 2, where P by W equal to B by 2H. In this overturning effects and others, P by W also we are calling as impact factor, and V square by ZR. Next one, we are having a transverse skidding effect. P equal to FA plus FB. That means the transverse skidding means P equal to FA plus FB. That means total force which are acting on the road equal to opponent directions. That means it is equilibrium conditions. Equilibrium condition means the total force will be acting on this particular road surface, so that we are having opponent force. This is the P force, this is the F and F. So that P equal to FA plus FB. What we are having is P equal to FA plus FB. That means total reaction as shown in before. For FA we are having F into RA plus F into RB. We are taking it in a common small f into RA plus RB, where RA plus RB is totally equal to W. That means vehicle. P equal to F into W. That means P by W equal to, simply we are having small amount of friction. Okay. After this, we avoid overturning lateral skidding on horizontal curve. Due to the centrifugal ratio, we have to B by 2H and also small f. If the speed of the vehicle is high, A radius of the curve is less, f is less than b by 2h, vehicle will skid and overturn. If the speed of vehicle is so high, vehicle will overturn and other outer side or inner side depending upon those two conditions. Next thing we have to maintain is the super elevation. That means super elevation means we have to use this 1 in n. That means 1 is the horizontal and n is the vertical. In order to counteract the effect of centrifugal force, and we need to reduce the tendency of vehicle to overturn or skid. The outer edge with respect to the pavement is raised with the respect to the inner edge. That is called as the transverse slope or super elevation, okay, or canter banking. This rate of super elevation is expressed with the height of outer edge to with respect to horizontal width. This is the super elevation diagram with respect to smaller point, inner edge and outer edge. Here I will show what is inner edge. This is the inner edge. This is the outer edge. Okay, those all depends upon the radius of the curve. If the radius is toward the center, we need to take, depending upon the center, the inner edge depends upon the inner of the circle. Outer edge means outside part of the circle. While the car is moving on a particular super elevation curve, what are the different components we need to resolve according to the vehicle and P? That means vehicle means W is the vehicle load. We need to resolve according to this angle made by the wheels. RA and RB are the reaction forces. Those two forces which will equal to total weight. W is the total weight of the vehicle that can be resolved into W sin theta. After that we need to resolve it into FW cos theta, FW v square by GR sin theta. Those three things will be equal to W v square by GR cos theta. From this equation we need to have this super elevation formula. This is the total equation we are having, where E plus F equal to V square by 127, or in terms of meter per second and kilometer per hour we are having G means acceleration due to gravity. Okay, how this analysis of super elevation is done? What are the factors affecting while we are having to analysis the structure? That means this curve with vehicle moving. The force acting on a vehicle while moving on a circular curve of radius meter. The speed of the vehicle is V meter per second. Or next one, centrifugal force equal to W V square by ZR acting horizontally. Next one, W is the vehicle weight acting vertically downwards. All those are showing in the vehicle. W is the vehicle weight showing downwards. The next one we are having P is the centrifugal force which is having W V square by ZR. P W V square by GR. F into P we are having W V square by ZR sin theta. Next one, the frictional force developed between the wheels and the pavement surface contracts the transversally force acting along the surface toward the center of the curve. That means while the vehicle is moving, there may be some sort of friction between these road surface and tire surface. Those can be denoted with this F. So that F into W cos theta plus FW V square by GR sin theta according to these two forces. We are having cos theta and sin theta resolving horizontally and vertically. All those can be equated to W V square by ZR cos theta. And we have done some more additions and subtractions into left side and right side. We will get to this radius. It means R means radius of the curve equal to V square by Z into F plus E, where E is the elevation should be taken as, in some cases we have to take it as okay, Here first case we are having all those formulas are equated. After that we are having total equation multiplied by sin theta. With not sin theta with cos theta, we are having this w sin theta by w cos theta. We are having tan theta, w cancelled, tan theta plus w cos theta cancelled. We are having simply f. Here also we are having v square by zr and taken into other side. So that we are having tan theta plus f equal to v square by zr into 1 minus f tan theta. We need to understand the total term will be divided with w cos theta, because in the left side also we are having wv square cos theta, in the right side also middle term we are having w cos theta. To neglect those, we are dividing with w cos theta on both sides, so that we will get sin by cos equal to tan w get cancelled in first equation. Second equation w cos theta cancelled. We are having only f. Here we are having sin theta by cos theta equal to tan theta. Other side also cos theta by other one equal to cos theta get cancelled. We are having wv square by zr tan theta, wv square by v square by zr. In those two terms we are having v square by zr as constant, so that v square by zr into 1 minus f tan theta we are having. From the equation we are having tan theta as common, so that we are dividing cos theta on both sides. Okay, we will get this e plus f equal to v square by zr into 1 minus f. Why? Because tan theta is written as e, that means elevation. That means theta equal to elevation we are having. For that we are is simply writing tan theta equal to e on either sides. We are having f into tan theta is written as f into e. Here tan theta is written as small e. So that e plus f equal to v square by zr plus into 1 plus fe. So e plus f can be shifted from left side to right side, and the radius r equal to written in the left side, so that we are having v square by g into e plus f equal to r. F into e is the very small term, so that in f into e multiplied with very small term, so that 1 minus small equal to 1, so that those term will be neglected. 1 minus f equal to, simply they are taken it as 1. So we are having e plus f equal to v square by zr. In terms of meter per second, but in case of kilometer per hour we are having v square by 127 r. This is the formula for getting super elevation. These are the terms. E equal to rate of super elevation, that is equal to tan theta in the previous diagram, in the previous explanation. F is the friction coefficient, which is equal to 0.15. V speed r equal to radius of the horizontal curve. Next, g is the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, today's class is over.